What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the brand new A1 trading dashboard that just dropped. It is officially available on our website and we're going to talk about today's version 1 that is being dropped. So in the future there will probably be additions. Of course, if you own version 1 of the software, you'll be able to get the updates completely for free. But I wanted to show you guys officially version 1 has been released of the A1 trading dashboard. And the whole point, the whole big picture of this is that MT4 is something that's available to almost all forex brokers that I'm aware of. They almost all use MT4. Some things like TradingView don't work for certain brokers, right? But some of the features of TradingView, some of the features of other different places that offer all these sort of cool features are not yet available on MetaTrader 4. The A1 trading dashboard brings a lot of new stuff to MT4 and tries to kind of upgrade MT4, if you will. I kind of think of MT4 as good, but not great. And with the A1 trading dashboard, I'm hoping that it will be a lot better. So we've put in a tremendous amount of work into programming, back testing, testing the concepts here that are available in the actual A1 trading dashboard. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the different tabs that you see at the top of the screen here and talk about the features that this tool actually has to offer. So there's a link down below in the description. If at any point you decide you would like to get the tool for yourself, you can get it on our website and you can try it out for yourself. And I do hope that it takes your trading to the next level. I really do think that it's a tool that I'll be using all the time now because of how much work has gone into this and the developing and testing and all that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into all the different features that this tool has to offer. Now, we'll start over on the far left. This is the account tab, and all this is going to show you is just the basic stuff. You can see I'm on a demo account right now to show you guys, because we're going to actually place some fake trades just to show the features in action, so stay tuned on that. But this just has your basic stuff, the account name that you're on and the account number, that sort of stuff. But then the next one is the scanner tab, okay? And this is where things ramp up real quick, because this tab is actually, I think, my personal favorite. This tab gives you the ability to scan or add or remove tons of different custom scans very, very quickly on your chart. Now you can see we're looking at the Euro USD, we're looking at the daily chart, and let's just say, for example, that I'd like to look for some sort of bullish setups, okay? We can actually check and just turn on the bullish pivots for a moment, and there you go. Now you can see we've got bullish pivots printed on the screen here or on the chart itself, okay? So what this is telling us is that we've got strong bullish pivots in these areas, okay? And all a bullish pivot is basically a sharp turnaround on the chart, right? We're looking for price action that is basically very bullish, okay? And so that is what this thing is doing, is it's scanning for bullish pivots if you turn them on. Well, let's say that you don't want your chart to be cluttered. Well, you can quickly just turn that back off. And at any time, let's say you're doing your technical analysis, you're going through, let's say you're drawing trend lines, whatever you're doing, right? You're setting up your charts. You might not want this dashboard to just be covering your entire screen. So all you do is you just minimize it, right? And this is a big feature to me that I find very, very valuable. I joked about this on stream because I was so excited about the minimize feature when I was first releasing or talking about this product. But the cool thing about this is that, okay, at any point I can jump back in, I can bring it back up if I'd like, or I can remove it off the screen for a moment and just have it running in the background so that it doesn't clutter my screen. That's a really big thing for me in my own analysis, and so I made sure to implement it in the tool itself. So going off of our concept, let's say that we do want to look at bullish pivots. Let's say that we want to see, for example, the high of the week, right? It's going to print our high of the week. And if we drop down on a different time frame, you can see, we'll jump over here. We can scroll out. There's the high of the week. Let's look at the high of the day also, for example. There's the high of the day. Let's look at the daily low. The daily low is down here at that 1.21535. And then we can look at the high of the week. We can look at the low of the week, right? Whatever we want to scan for in terms of high and lows, there it is printed on the screen. So you just hover over daily low, right? Hover over weekly low, daily high, and weekly high, okay? So some cool scanning features for those of you guys who are breakout traders, right? For example, let's say that you're looking for a break through the high of the day or week. Well, if you have this printed on your chart, you can very clearly see from all different time frames what that level is. A lot of strategies are based on, or the breakout strategies out there that are based on the high or low of the day being broken, or the high or week, high of the week or low of the week being broken, right? There's some swing trades and day trades that people love to trade off of those features. So I made sure to include those as well. So we've got bullish and bearish pivots. Of course, we can talk about different levels where the chart is kind of reversing sharply, and that is helpful for our technical analysis in the sense that if you like trading support and resistance zones, right? If we know, okay, let's take a look at some, for example. Again, we go back to the daily chart. Check this out. So we'll turn on the bullish pivots for a moment. We can minimize this, and you can see, like I was saying earlier, we've got multiple bullish pivots in this area, right? So this is showing us that, okay, historically, this black line here that goes through the screen has been a pretty significant level of support. And if we get a pullback to that level, maybe it's worth looking for bullish opportunities. Again, more on that later. We're going to talk more about bullish alerts or signals that can be produced by this thing as we go along. So let's pull that back up. Okay, and then the other one that is a big request, and we've never had it in a software tool yet, is RSI divergence. Now, this is a big one that people really seem to like. This is basically the concept of RSI divergence. If you've seen my videos on it, or maybe someone else's, the concept is when the price is moving higher, but RSI and the momentum of the chart is actually not moving higher. Okay, it's showing a divergence in the price relative to the RSI. And this is a potential reversal indication. You can see here's some examples that we can see on the chart right now. You can see that there's some bullish RSI divergence saying that, okay, price is going down, however, momentum shifting to the bullish side. You can see it produced a pretty good trend thereafter. Now we can see some bearish RSI divergence, right? Saying that a trend is potentially going to end soon. And we can just scroll back and see if there's any more examples. Here's some right here. You got bullish RSI divergence printing here. Here's one that did not necessarily work out very well, right? Bullish RSI divergence, but then the price kept going. And of course, no signal or indication is going to be perfect by itself. Otherwise, it would be too easy and everybody would be doing this. But the reality is that having multiple tools to actually scan for these features allows you to do your own analysis however you choose to do so. I wanted to include lots of different things for different people out there. If you're a bullish and bearish pin bar or engulfing candlestick hunter sort of person, you may be looking for, something producing bullish engulfing bars, right? And we can see those printed very clearly on the screen. Here's one right here, right? Bullish engulfing. If you're familiar with that candlestick pattern, there's some right there. And you can see there's some bearish engulfing as well because we have that toggled on. Let's say you only want to look at bullish setups. Well, we can just quickly turn off the bearish ones and bam. Now you've got just the bullish ones printed. We can hover over and see the bullish engulfing there. Okay, so that's that. And then finally, one that I am probably the most excited about personally is the pullback zones. Okay, now pullback zones are, for me, number one on this list. I love having a pullback zone printed on my chart. This is showing me based on the moving averages and the price action of recent times where a decent pullback opportunity may be. Okay, we can take a look at Euro USD here on the daily chart and check this out. You can see a couple different scenarios where price was trending up and started to pull back, and this actually produced a pretty decent pullback opportunity as price came back into this area. Now, of course, like I said, nothing is going to be perfect by itself, but adding these tools can actually create all sorts of different features in your analysis that you may not have had before. So with that said, that's everything that I've got on the actual scanner tab. This one is probably, like I said, my personal favorite of the tool. But let's go ahead and continue. We'll take a look at the trends tab. Now, some of you guys who are real OGs who have been using A1 trading software for a while may remember or know or even use the currency strength meter. And the currency strength meter is one of our top tools, I guess you could say. A lot of people love it. And it basically scans for the trend strength of multiple currencies at the same time and tells you which ones are the strongest, which ones are the weakest, so that you could potentially go look for trend trading setups or reversal setups, if that's your favorite, on those different things. So I wanted to make sure to incorporate basically the same sort of concept into the A1 Trading Dashboard. The A1 Trading Dashboard is like a conglomerate of lots of different tools that we've built in the past, all in one. So this is your trends tab, and this is for those of you guys who love looking for currency strength and trend strength of different markets. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that we've got a watch list. And this watch list can be adjusted. So if I want to watch a different pair than what's on here, and this was a big concern that we had with the old currency strength meter, is the charts that were actually on it were set, so you couldn't change them. But now, if I just go F7, pull up the A1 Trading Dashboard features here, and go to inputs, I can change these watch list tool to any that I want. Let's say I want to watch the S&P 500. I could just come in here and let's say SPX 500, click that, and there it goes. It prints off in here the S&P 500, right? So now there it is. We've got the S&P 500 added to our watch list. That easy to add it in there, and now it's scanning for the trend strength of that market. You can see on the daily chart, it's printing a strong buy. On the 4 hour, it is also a strong buy. The 1 hour chart, it's a slight buy, meaning it's not as bullish on the 1 hour, but still overall bullish. And then on the 15-minute chart, we're actually seeing a strong sell, meaning it might be pulling back in the lower time frames, but actually, in the way I look at it, a possible good longer term buy if we're using those higher time frames. Again, this is up to how you would like to use it, but generally speaking, this is going to show you the overall momentum or trend strength of any of your watch list features in multiple different time frames: the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute chart, all scanned on one screen. So what this does by itself is we can actually pull it up, the information tab. The Trends tab uses the 20, 50, and the 200 SMA to scan the trend strength of each time frame, the daily, like I said, the 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15-minute, on your watch list that you set. Whatever charts you want to look at, you set them. If the value of the 20 is greater than the 50 and greater than the 200, it is considered a strong buy, and flipped for strong sells, right? If we get all three moving averages agreeing, that tells us that, okay, we've got a strong trend either up or down, okay? And so that is how that is going to compute those, and then it's going to do it on multiple time frames, and then it's going to do it on your whole watch list. So from one screen, you can see all of the trend strength of all your favorite charts, okay? So kind of some neat features there. Let's move on to the Signals tab, and this is a big one that a lot of people have shown interest in that I've talked to about it so far. This tool is basically going to give you a idea, or from the technicals, a scan of a rating -5 to 5, -5 to +5, on how strong or weak a currency is, and whether or not it is a strong sell, a buy, a strong buy, etc. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you all the different tools or features that are computing that overall rating, and then it's going to give you a rating, right? Like I said, a +5 is very, very bullish, and a -5 is very, very bearish based on the technical factors that are going into this tool, which you can see on this screen. You've got the trend state, right? How trending is this? Going back to our trends tab, right? Like we talked about, is this thing in a strong bullish trend? If yes, then it gets, a stronger buy rating. Pullback reading, is it in a pullback zone? And you can see there's our pullback zone that we've set, which we can toggle in the features as well. But what we can see is that yes, it is. So it gets a more bullish rating because it's in a pullback zone. The overall price action reading on this is that it's a bullish pullback opportunity, right? So it's telling you you can also get bullish breakouts, you can get bearish reversals. This will kind of tell you what's going on. And we can flip to other charts for a moment to see what other charts are looking like. Here's GBP USD, which overall on the price action reading is trending higher. It's not necessarily in a pullback zone, so for me, probably wouldn't be a buy. It's a slight buy, so it's still bullish, but not necessarily as strong as if it was pulling back. Check out another one here. We can see here's USD JPY, which is rated a -3 or a sell. It's in a bearish pullback opportunity currently. It's in that pullback zone that we've highlighted and talked about, right? There it is, and it's in a strong bearish trend, right? Overall, the 200 SMA is bearish, and that adds more bearishness to the features there. We can keep going. We take a look at gold, for example. Gold right now is a slight buy. You could see based on the trend state is kind of neutral, which makes sense. We've been very back and forth here recently. And so that goes into the actual signals tab score, if you will. We can take a look at AUD USD. There it is. Prints a slight buy here on this chart. Probably would be a strong buy if it was pulling back to a key pullback zone, which is a big one for me, right? Because I like to trade pullbacks. It's one of my favorite sort of setups. I'm waiting for that to be a stronger buy, and then maybe I'll look to jump in, right? So that's how I personally would use it. New Zealand dollar, taking a look here, you can see it's got a overall rating of 2 because it is not necessarily in a pullback zone. It's in a bullish trend, however, and you can see, all the different scores leading into that. Okay, and so that's our entire thing. Now, the other key component of this is if we actually go to the next tab, the watch list tab, we can look at all of our different major watch list tools at the click of a button. The thing about MT4 that I don't love is navigating around it is kind of clunky and kind of slow. And so I wanted to put these features into a tool that I was going to be using so that I could quickly navigate between all of my favorite charts. And if I want to look at something, there's 2 ways to do it on the watch list tab. You can either select the exact pair you want to look at. If I want to look at gold, I just click gold and it changes the chart for me. So I'm looking at it. If I want to look at that SPX 500 chart that we added just recently together, I can switch over there and see what it looks like. Now, the other cool feature is that let's say I want to do a quick scan. This to me right here is a small feature that goes a long way in my own, process of finding the trades that I want to take. This little back and forth arrow allows me to switch back and forth and look at the different charts at a quick glance. And the reason that this is so big is you don't have to spend a ton of time going and finding your charts and dragging them on and selecting everything. You can just flip through your charts and see. And again, like I said, if you want to go to the signals tab and flip through your charts, it's going to give you your signals on these charts in real time, which is pretty cool. Now, that is so far most of the dashboard. This by itself, oh my God, this is like weeks of work that I'm just going through in a few minutes. But all of those features are available, of course, but then there's also this final one. This is the trade tab. Okay, and the trade tab is kind of cool because the trade tab allows us to actually execute a position using risk management defined by us, okay? And this is really, really cool. So I don't know why the stop loss in pips was so big, but we're gonna have to bring that down. So we can adjust the stop loss and the percentage risk and then compute the proper lot size. How many of you guys struggle with risk management and wonder, how do I actually get this thing, or how do I get a lot size that's not going to be way too big or way too small for my account? Well, this helps you set it up so that you don't have to do so much thinking about that. So let's say, for example, that we want to take a position on the USD CAD and we want to risk 1% of our account. Well, we can change this, by the way. We can change it to 0.75, 1, 1.25, 1.5, right? 1.75, 2. We can change it to 3, whatever we want to do. We just set up our trade how we would like to do it. We give it a stop loss in pips. Let's say I want to risk 150, let's say 100 pips, which, let's say we're doing our analysis. Let's actually break this down for a second. In fact, let's just take a theoretical trade. So let's just say that we actually want to take a sell position here on USD CAD. Well, if we do this very quickly, let's say we want to do 1% of the account. We want to put a stop loss of 100 pips. We can drag, you can see 100 pips is going to be right around there. So let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it 100 and let's make it 200 pips. So 200 pips, and on this demo account, 1% of the account, we can see it's adjusting as we change it. Let's say 1% of the account is roughly $50, okay? So the calculated lots that it gives us based on the parameters we set, that 1% risk, that 200 pips, that is going to essentially give us a recommended 0.03 approximate lot size, okay? So now we can apply those lots, and you can see there it popped into our lot size. If we want to adjust this too, we can change those, right? Quick execution of those if you would like to set your trades. I find this a lot easier than using the actual features in MT4 because they're kind of clunky, like I said, to execute trades. So for the lot size, let's say we apply the recommended lots, and let's say we do want to put a stop loss. So we just set this to blue. That means it's turned on, right? And now we can actually select sell. Okay. Now sell we just get a confirm message because we don't want it to just execute the trade right away. We want to actually double check everything, and we can see that it's saying confirm a 0.03 lots sell on USD CAD at this price with a stop loss at 1.25234. We can confirm that, and there we go. So now what we can see is we've got our trades set up right away. We don't have to do all that extra, dragging and dropping and thinking about and setting up. And we can see that the profit there, if we hit our stop loss, is right around our target. Now, it's not going to be perfect because of the calculations that are done, internally, the currencies, the lot size. By the way it works out in the math, it's never going to be exactly perfect because of slippage and that sort of stuff on your broker. But the general idea is that, okay, we wanted to get around a 1% risk at 200 pips. You can see we're risking around 50 pips, $50 for a total loss of 200 pips there. And there it is. Our trade is set up. From there, if you want to set a take profit, you can do so. You can just do it usually how you would usually. But the big thing for me is just not having to punch in numbers and not having to calculate where the stop loss goes through some sort of other platform or other website. It's all on your MT4, which makes it super quick and super easy. So that's what I've got there on that. Let's say, for example, we can just close out of this trade really quick. Look at that, we made 50 cents really quickly. And let's just say that we don't actually want to apply this lot. We can actually do whatever we want. Let's say we just want to, buy 0.01, right? Confirm buy 0.01 lots, yes, and there it is. Okay, now we've got 0.01 bought on USD CAD. Okay, so this is just a quick way to execute the trades that you want to execute. Again, with everything on here, my goal is to make it so that you don't have to switch softwares, you don't have to jump around MT4. You can use one tab very quickly. And again, if we just minimize it, we can go back to our charts. We can see everything is, just clearly. That's another thing, is a lot of times these tools have these ginormous, they take up most of the screen, and then you can't actually do your analysis. My goal is you only need one chart open for this, and you can adjust it or maximize, minimize, whatever you want to do, the tools that you're looking at. Let's talk briefly about some of the properties here. Now, if you do choose to buy this tool, there's a link down below in the description. Like I said, you can get access there, and it comes with a full guide. Now, the tool might look a little different when you actually buy it. The tool will probably be worked on for the next several months, and any sort of updates, like I said in the beginning, will be given to you for free. You'll get access to those once you make your purchase for the first time. You'll get future updates for free. So all of these features are adjustable, and you can see there's quite a bit of customizable features. If you want to change colors around, you can do that. If you want to change your watch list, you can do that, right? If you want to, default set certain things like bullish pivots to true, anytime you open up the tool, it will keep your settings saved for you. You just can make your adjustments. Let's say I want to make this true, make this true, whatever, and I can just save these features, save it as something, and then load it next time, right? And then you can have those features saved to you for future use. Okay, so all of these different features and variables will be described in the actual guidelines that you get for the tool. You also get instructions to set this up. It's very easy to set up. It's pretty much a few drag and drops, and then you're ready to go. And this tool is on your MT4. So I'm very excited about this tool. I think it's gonna be a hit. I think a lot of people will like it. But of course, if you have any ideas, feel free to comment them or let me know or send me a message. I'm actively going to be working on this for a little while, especially with some of our members who will be getting this for free. Gold members will get this as part of their package deal, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with them to look at how we can potentially improve this for future versions. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the tool if you do decide to get it, and send us any questions that you have. If you have them, you can go to our support page or our contact us page. I believe it's a1trading.com/contact. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy trading.